Hello and welcome to my backwards presentation of the digestive system. I'm sure you probably won't be able to see it very well, but I will explain it either way. So I did choose the digestive system as my organ system of choice. The digestive system is made up of the GI tract, which is the gastrointestinal tract, as well as the liver, the pancreas, and the gallbladder. The mouth and the teeth and the tongue, and the esophagus, the trachea, they're all a part of the digestive tract. It stretches from mouth to anus. It contains hollow and also solid organs. The hollow organs are the mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, and the intestines, large and small, and the anus. The solid organs are the liver, the pancreas, and the gallbladder. What the digestive system does is it breaks down food. Pretty simple. It starts in your mouth, where your teeth and your digestive juices and it starts in your mouth where your teeth chew and masticate the food into smaller bits so that the digestive enzymes in your saliva can do the beginning processes of digestion. Then your tongue takes the food that has been chewed and masticated into smaller bits and slides it down your throat. From your throat, it reaches the esophagus, which it then encounters a small sphincter, the upper sphincter of the stomach. That protects our esophagus from the stomach acids, which are pretty acidic, from coming up into the esophagus and causing burns. The stomach, our next hollow organ, has many different functions, some of which are quick digesting. There's a barrier between the stomach and the bloodstream, so small nutrients that are easily digested in the stomach do pass through the walls. Anything else will then make its way, once it's been digested by the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, down to a nice little slosh. Once it's in that slosh, called a chyme, it will move into the small intestines. In the small intestines, your bacterial cultures go to work and they start breaking down some of the food, as well as peristalsis, which is the movement, the squeezing of our intestines, which brings the food further and further down the digestive tract. In the small intestines, the remaining nutrients that have been converted by bacteria and other digestive enzymes provided by the liver and the gallbladder, as well as the pancreas, break down all of the fats and other foods in your small intestines, and that then passes through the barrier in your intestines and into your bloodstream. The remaining waste products are filtered into your large intestines, and within the large intestine, inside the large intestines, there are quite a few also bacterial cultures that do a little bit more work. Water can often be pulled from the stool if it sits too long in the digestive tract. So we want to make sure that it moves right along. Peristalsis is what does this for the large intestines as it makes its way down into the anus. The anus is actually the external sphincter, the last sphincter of your digestive tract, and once it passes through there, we all know what happens to it. I did make sure that I put a stop mark instead of an arrow when I went from the anus back into the mouth of the digestive cycle, because that is where it stops. I know that's pretty clear, but my children wanted me to make sure I made it even clearer. On to the next. This is the physiology of the digestive system. In the physiology of the digestive system, digestive enzymes and acids break, as well as bacterial cultures, break down food that enters the system through mechanical, chemical, and bacterial means. The process through which digestion takes place has many components and many organs that facilitate it, starting with the mouth, our first organ. The role in digestion is the teeth rip and tear food as the tongue pushes food down the throat and into the esophagus. We talked about that earlier. The esophagus is an automatic time when peristalsis, or that contracting, starts. Then it moves into the stomach, within the hollow organ of the stomach. The upper stomach muscle, called the sphincter in the stomach, relaxes to let food enter, and lower muscle mixes food with digestive juices to make chyme. Into the small intestines, once it's done in the stomach, peristalsis mixes the food with digestive juices from the liver, the pancreas, and the intestines. The walls absorb water and the digestive nutrients before the wastes move into the large intestines. Once they're in the large intestines, peristalsis sends waste products to the anus as stool. Somewhere in the mix between the small intestines and the large intestines, the pancreas and the liver contribute digestive juices that aid in digestion, and then the liver will also play a secondary role in detoxification as well as filtering out wastes. Not related to the digestive system necessarily, but it turns out that the pancreas and the liver are very important components of some of the new research we're doing to cure a lot of, what is the word I'm looking for? Autoimmune diseases, actually. They're finding that cancer and autoimmune diseases are strictly linked to the liver and the enzymes within the liver. And strokes as well. So really cool that the liver and the pancreas play such a huge role in digestion, and they also play such a large role in your immune system. Not mentioned in here is the extremely large role that the digestive system plays in your dopamine and serotonin production as well. So I think that the number is about 80% of your dopamine is created in the gut. And it's actually the microbiota, the gut bacteria, that lead to that creation of dopamine. And I know a lot of people think dopamine is your happy hormone. Really what dopamine does is creates motivation to push through things that are difficult, because you know that there's a reward. So not only does the digestive system digest our food and provide us all the calories and nutrients that we need to survive, as well as water, but it also plays an extremely large role in your immune system and in your ability to achieve your goals and dreams. How cool is that, right? Recent medical treatments and interventions that have come about, I actually have been reading about these for quite a few years, so they have just now recently been introduced, and that is the fecal transplant. Now, oddly enough, I know it sounds like a strange occurrence to use fecal matter as a transplant, but what they're really doing is taking the microbiota from a healthy individual and they are transplanting it into the microbiome of a unhealthy or obese person. And what they found, getting ahead of myself here, what they found is that the fecal transplant shows huge promise in not only working with gut issues and gut health like IBS and Crohn's, but it's also been shown to have a great improvement in depressive symptoms, anxiety, and I really wonder, why do we think that is? Is it maybe because all the dopamine, 80% of it is created in that gut of yours by your microbiome? So really, at the end of the day, these things are great. Because it helps people who can't seem to get it quite right, or maybe are too far gone along their path to fix it in the normal route. But, big caveat here, does just introducing the beneficial bacteria work in the long run? Because that bacterial culture needs to be fed. And the American diet, the classic American diet right now, is so far from what we require in our digestive system for it to work that it really is just like a band-aid. So it can help if you're willing to make the change in your diet and move to healthier whole foods that contain lots and lots of prebiotic fibers to feed those healthy gut microbiome, that healthy gut bacteria that seems to be so incredibly important that we have to put it into tubes and inject it into people. Biblical perspective, which I kind of touched on here, how does the medical intervention restore the design of the organ? Well, it allows for those gut microbe cultures, your gut bacteria, to be replaced when in all actuality it should already be there. Your original bacterial cultures are given to you through the vaginal canal in your birth from your mother, and since we have such an uptick in C-sections, it really actually does not show a lot of promise in allowing us to have the variety of gut microbiome that we need in order to function and survive the way we were designed by God to do. So does it help? Sure, as a band-aid would help a cut, but it doesn't heal the cut. The band-aid only serves as a barrier, and that work, that requirement, that healing has to be done by the person who receives that transplant, or they're going to be back in the doctor's chair looking to be injected again. There's no magic pill, there's no magic injection, there's no magic fecal matter that's going to change actual habitual habits. This is our worship. What we do every single day shows in every single element of our bodies, and no band-aid treatments are going to take over for the true effort and work that is required to put into life in order to have a happy, healthy, and quality life. So as far as the digestive system is considered, it's extremely important and has a lot of facets to it, and we touched on only a few, and I've already gone almost 12 and a half minutes. So it's been a real pleasure to have this class, to be in this class, and I'm really looking forward to the next step in anatomy and physiology. Thank you.